Hello ladies and gentlemen, this is SidAlpha. I'm coming to you today with a quick look at Galactic Civilizations 3. This game was just recently released on Steam. It is a turn-based space strategy game, and it has been in production for quite some time. It's been pretty anticipated for those of us who actually appreciate this genre of games. Let's take a quick look here at, let's see, we'll go into the options menu here real quick. The basic graphics options style is, there's not a whole heck of a lot of customization here. We do have, you can set your own performance presets. Ooh, let's bump that up a little bit there. Unfortunately, it doesn't tell you what form of anti-aliasing it does use, but good to see that it does have that. Sound interface. Let's see. No, don't skip intro. I do like the intro of this game. So far, pretty basic, but not too bad when you're dealing with a game of this type. Let's hop right in here. Now we do have 8 playable races. We've of course have the Terran Alliance, the Drengen Empire, and these guys are a bit more xenophobic warrior caste. Altarian Resistance, these guys are basically space elves. Iridium Corporation, Ultra Capitalist Civilization. We have the Kryn Syndicate. These are a coalition of races. The Yor Singularity. I'm not sure if it's Yor or Yar, but sentient artificial beings. And we also have the Iconian Refuge. Let's see. And then we also have the Thalen Contingency. They have come from another universe. Looks like these guys they're hell-bent on stopping the Terrans. So, 8 playable races to start. Hopefully, we will see some DLC coming out sometime down the line. Let's see. We have galaxy size. We're going to go with a medium-sized galaxy. Tight clusters are fine. Go to the galaxy options. This is where you can actually customize the game map, as it were. Star frequency, common. Habitable planet frequency, common. Actually, we'll go star frequency, occasional. Let's see. We also have our victory conditions. We're actually going to uncheck the research victory condition. We're going to uncheck the turn limit because I don't like that. And let's see, we'll just leave those. We'll leave it at beginner right now because I am still learning the game a little bit. And actually on my first playthrough, I actually got my butt kicked. So, and I am fairly familiar with these style games. It did introduce some new mechanics, which I am somewhat unfamiliar with. Actually, let's go back. We'll do a large style galaxy. Tight clusters. And we'll just add everybody there. And we'll kick off. Okay, so here we are. We are the Terran Alliance. It starts us off on planet Earth. Now, as you can see, this is basically the overall map grid, which actually is not as large as I expected it to be for that size setting, for that many people. That's okay, it'll just help encourage competition. Now, you do have some icons here. We have Durantium. You actually have to build a mining starbase to be able to collect this resource, and we also have another habitable planet nearby. It's class 5, Mars, which is pretty typical. We got Mercury, Jupiter, Saturn, and of course Earth. So first thing I'm going to want to do is I'm going to take my starter colony ship and zip on over to Mars here, because Alright, first colony. And these do have, for a lot of your firsts, they do have these repeating cutscene sequences, which, you know, just a little bit of fun there. Unfortunately, they're very short, and they do repeat, like I said. Okay, so this is a look at Mars. Now, these are randomly generated every single time you play the game. The amount of areas where you can build structures. Let's see. Crystallized Delirium. I actually have not seen this one yet. The crystalline structure gives a boost when channeling energy. +2 level to military. So, let's see. And your colony capital gives you +1 to anything posted next to it. Now this one, we're going to go ahead. What is this here? Desolate area is barely usable and perfect for blowing things up. So that would actually probably give you a bonus to planetary defenses once you unlock that option. We're going to start off here. We're going to build a basic factory here and a research colony there. And then, yeah, we'll go ahead and do a consulate for now. We'll probably need to change that out later, but that's okay, just to get rolling. We'll go and visit Earth. Ooh, precursor nanites. Bonus to manufacturing, +2. So basically, we're going to want to build a factory there because that gets a bonus from the precursor nanites. And let's see, natural wonder. Eventually, we'll probably replace that with some sort of entertainment in order to attract more income as far as that goes. And with basic factory there, that'll be pretty dang good because it gets a +1 from the colony capital and +2 from the precursor nanites. So all in all, you do need to pay attention to things like this, as it does become very important in relation to how quickly you're capable of constructing things and researching and all that. Okay, so we're done with that for the moment. We're going to go and visit our shipyard. Now, these are our starter ships. We have the M2, which is basically a cargo vessel. We have a fast scout, build a colony ship, or a constructor. Now, a constructor can construct another... Whoops, I hit the wrong button. The constructor can build another shipyard here, or you can send it out to build star bases. Now, star bases are very important here because you will notice once you start exploring that you'll have a little gray line that'll kind of transverse the map, and that's basically distance from the nearest base is how far your ships are capable of traveling. So basically, that's a refueling line. You can't go past that. The game won't allow it. You can build star bases nearby there to kind of extend that and allow yourself further exploration of the map. Let's see, we do have a surveyor, which first off we're going to start off with our scout here. We're going to scout up this way. Now you'll see this ship graveyard. What this is basically an artifact area. And a lot of these mechanics are very similar to Civilizations 4 in how they go about things. These would basically be considered native villages, things like that. They grant you resources or tech once you pick them up. Anyone can claim them, and it does behoove you to get those as quickly as possible. We're actually going to go in here and we're going to start on another constructor here because we're going to want to get a starbase to be able to take advantage of this Durantium. And then we'll kick off and research. We'll take a quick look at the tech tree, which is actually pretty fascinating. You've got 4 areas: colonization, engineering, warfare, and governance. This is actually a very similar tech tree to what you saw in Sins of a Solar Empire, and also a bit crossing with Civilizations 4 and Civ 5 as well. The interesting thing with this tech tree is it actually institutes choices. So it doesn't necessarily have too many branching paths, but these guys here, you have multiple options for that particular tech item. So, which allows you quite a bit more customization than you typically see in tech trees with those older style games, and that's a really nice feature and enhancement that I like to see in this game. And that is, yeah, basically every other one gets you a choice of some form, which is pretty great. And let's see, we're actually going to go back. Beans will probably start running into other races pretty soon. We're going to research a universal translator, which allows us to be able to communicate with aliens. Basically, if you don't have this and you run into an alien race, you're left with basically smiling and nodding at them, which is actually one of the options, or just saying, yeah, okay. Alright, so we'll go into, and these will, yeah, we'll go ahead and see what's there. Okay, so this is important. We've got beam weapons, missile weapons, and I can't remember what these guys are called. But overall hit point, pretty comparable, I'd say. This guy's got a lot of armor. They have no armor or shields whatsoever. So we'll just go ahead and quick battle these guys. Oh, first anomaly surveyed. Let's see what it got us here. The ancient scoutcraft you survey ships stumbles upon it is built logical principles. Plus 25% sensor range to all ships in the fleet. That's pretty great, especially early on in the game when you have to basically survey and uncover the fog here. This game, as you can see here, a little bit of gray area, so it does institute fog of war as also fog of exploration. So that, you'll see here we have another, the Yugoth star system. You got Yugoth 1, which is dead planet, and some asteroids. Nothing great there. Oh, we've got another artifact here, and an ascension crystal. Now, ascension crystals were put in place by a race that were called the Precursors. And researching these will allow you to unlock the secrets of ascending to a higher plane of existence. I never have actually done that as yet. Basically, I've gone for war victory, basically beating the crap out of everyone around until they either submit or I destroy them utterly. That always seemed to be the most fun for me. Okay, so we have another habitable planet here. Sorry, I'm trying to get my mouth to work right. We have another habitable planet here. It's a Class 8 Earth-like, which is pretty great. So what we're going to want to do then is we're going to want to build a colony ship, and we're going to bump that up, replace the constructor, because if you find a habitable planet, you're going to want to take those as quickly as possible. It will make it a little bit harder to manage and balance your resources, but later on in the game, having the most habitable planets means you have the most tech, the most research, and the greatest capability of constructing, which basically, yeah, just like in a Civilizations game, the person with the most cities will outstrip everyone else. And we have some more Durantium there. Now, Durantium, this is a resource. A lot of the resources you find in this game are basically not necessarily consumable, but you only have a certain number. Oh, we got a little boost of money there. You can only say a ship requires Durantium to build. You can only use, you only have one resource of that type that can be applied to it, so you can only build one of those units. However, with your mining star bases, you can research and upgrade them to be able to get higher yield out of these, to be able to construct additional structures or ships out of that. So basically what we're going to do now is we're going to skip ahead a little bit in the game here, so bear with me for just a moment. Okay, so here we are a little bit further into the game, and as you can see, things have spread out pretty equally. I do have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7 planets right now. I have been asked by the Altarian Resistance to go to war with the Talon Contingency, and I chose to accept. Shortly before that, the Kryn Syndicate decided they wanted to attack me. It looks like they're just in love with attacking everyone, which is just fine. It helps keep them off our backs. So what we've been doing now is slowly invading. I set up some star bases to help spread my spread my culture, to expand my borders a little bit, and to provide deeper inroads into their territory. Without these star bases, I wouldn't have even been able to reach this planet. Right now, before you are able to take over a planet, you do have to research planetary invasion, which allows you access to transports, which you load up with a certain amount of your population. Let's go ahead and pass there. And that allows you to take a planet. Now, got one more turn before they actually reach. Basically, what I'm going to do is make sure nobody sneaks in there. Oh, I already passed for them. So we are going to try and take over our first planet here. So first off, we're going to make sure there's no hidden defenders. Oh, we have an idle ship, that's why. Silly me. Okay. In the turn. Now, we just constructed another transport. As you can see, you do load it up with some of the population from the planets that are sponsoring the shipyard that it is constructed from. We're going to go ahead and load that up and get that moving down this way. And let's see, we'll make sure no defender snuck in. Planet is undefended. Okay, so we're going to go on in here and try and capture it. Now, right now we have a 100% likelihood of success, but we're going to do informational warfare, which prevents casualties on both sides and actually allows you a higher population retention after the battle. So we're going to go ahead and do that. Instant victory. Surviving population is 4.9. That would have been much lower if we had gone with conventional warfare. It does cost 1,000 credits, but it's well worth it when you're trying to keep this base established. It also has the added benefit of any production facilities not being destroyed during the attack. Let's see. Yep, Durantium Refinery, Xeno Farm. Okay, what we're going to do then is we're going to put in, as our approval rating is pretty low, so we're going to pop down a couple of entertainment centers. Again, you get bonuses with units adjacent to each other, so it's always good to plan out carefully how you map out your construction here. Now we're also going to throw down another factory here. That gets a bonus +1 from the adjacent factory and additional bonus from being next to the colony capital. Alright, now that that is done, we've conquered our first planet successfully. Hello, we've got an enemy ship here, which we can't reach yet, but that's okay. And this is essentially how you progress through the game. It is a real-time strategy game. Yes, you do have United Planets. They are trying to put in economic redistribution, which means the wealthiest race has to give 25% of their credits to the remaining members. I don't agree with that. And looks like that got voted down. Good. Because if you happen to be the wealthiest race, this is a good way for them to just strip money from you. All right. Let's see. Now the only downfall is you have actually no direct control here of the battles that take place, which is a shame. A little bit more interactivity there would have been greatly beneficial. But it is, you know, it does give you a nice little cutscene. But I think the depth of the combat mechanic really could have gone a lot more involved than they really did, and that is it's a shame, and it is a definite drawback to this game. Basically, the way they design this, it limits you pretty much to this top-down view and making overall basic standard choices that you would in, say, Civilizations game, or Sins of a Solar Empire would be another good example. It really does feel to be a very strong hybrid crossbreed of those two games put together with some more modernized graphics. Overall, though, as far as a turn-based strategy game goes, it is pretty well thought out, well done. It does have, with all the different map types and the random generation of the maps, this does have a pretty fair amount of replayability. However, a lot of the same events tend to happen each time, and they can get a little tedious after a while. So basically, that is the whole game in a nutshell. Now, this is going on Steam right now for $50 or your regional equivalent. I think it's pretty decent. To be fair to the buyer, though, $50 for what we're getting here, I don't feel is quite worth the price. It is a very good turn-based strategy game, but there's no voice acting involved. That has very limited cutscenes, and battle interaction is virtually negligible. It's basically you're moving pieces on a board with just some fancy graphics to back it up. I think if they'd gone a little bit more in depth with a battle mechanic, say allowing you the option to actually take control of the battles and take the helm yourself, that would have definitely upped the worth in my eyes. And also some voice acting for the cutscenes and the research items and all of that would definitely help the immersion a little bit. Overall, it is a good game, but it's not one of those outstanding ones that I think you should worry about buying straight out of the gate. $50, like I said, I don't feel is a good price point for this game. I think it would be more fair in probably the $30 to $40 price range, and in my opinion, I would wait until the price on this game came down a little bit. Once the price does come down, it is what you should consider getting if you enjoy strategy games like this. Yeah, a little bit cheaper, and I would consider it a must-own. As it sits right now, wait for a Steam sale. Unless you absolutely have to have it. If you do, if you do decide to get it at this $50 price point, I think you will get a lot of enjoyment out of it, as I have so far. I just think they could have done a lot better. I mean, $50 for what we're seeing here, I think is a bit high. So, yeah, wait for a Steam sale, like I said, or for the overall price to come down. And who knows, they might do more with it with some expansions or DLC down the road. I know that seems to be the normal with video games these days. I don't like it, but that is a fact. But we'll see what the future may hold. This has been Galactic Civilizations 3 and SidAlpha. I'll see you next time.